So, welcome everybody to this year's... Oh, now the transition is not working. No. Yay. Sorry. Our Lean Leader, our CIO, EA, Digital Leader Summit here in Munich. It's our 10th anniversary of Lean 42, and I welcome you all to our big show here that we do now. I don't know, the 11th, 12th times, because we had a couple years where we did two, but it's a big event for us. Thank you so much for coming here, joining us for this. If you don't know me, I'm Karsten. I'm your host for today, and there are two other rooms where my colleagues will help you with as well. And what I want from you to know, like, who missed my dinner speech last night? Please stand up. Please stand up, yeah. You need to stand up, you need to stand up. Like, everybody else will join you in a second, but okay. Okay, shit now. So everybody else who was at the dinner party, please get up and shake the hands of the ones that missed it and kind of like welcome them to our group. And then please stay standing. And then, very good, very good. Love it. Love the energy in the morning in the crowd here. Then, now please keep all standing. Now I wanted, like, everybody that lives in the city of Munich, like the proper city of Munich, they're allowed to sit down now. Everybody's like, darn, I need to move to Munich. No. So let me know, like, who lives in, like, Bavaria. Let's do Bavaria next. Okay, a little bit more. We got people from far away. Then, of course, we're Munich, so we care about, like, Austria, Switzerland a little bit more than the rest of Germany. So who is in Austria and Switzerland? Okay. Then who's in Germany? Who lives in Germany? Okay. Who lives in a country that borders to Germany? Okay. Who lives somewhere in Europe? Okay. So welcome, yeah, like, special applause for the ones that moved or came here all the way from. So thank you so much, and it's really speaks to the expansion. We lived in Lean 42 over the last couple of years, and also with this conference. We love the international crowd here. We love the growing community. So we have 30% bigger signups this year than we had, like, the last couple of years. So it's a big event for us, actually. If you do not know, I'll just come over here. Like, more walking for me, all good. We are a CIO advisory, we're strategy consultants, we do lean agile, a lot of, like, strategy management consulting, we advise, we coach CIOs, digital leaders. The majority of our work, it's shrank a little bit because we did more strategic work, but it still is kind of like the enterprise architecture space. And we also do security, GRC, securing things. And what we do is really kind of like help you from an initial setup to maturing, tooling, trainings in all these areas. So if you want to know more about this, see one of my colleagues or myself after the show. And it's something where it really is 10 years of successful solutions. So it's a special year for us with, like, 10 years Lean 42. And it is something where we are very fortunate about working with many interesting organizations, and these are just the clients that we had over the last two to 3 years maybe, so it's not the 10 years up here, so it really is different industries, and that's also what you see here in the crowd. It's different industries, different backgrounds, and it's something where we really think that to be successful, you need to have seen different things in different industries and worked in different areas to really help the community grow and connect. And this is why we do our summit. There is a summit coming up next year as well. But none of this would be possible without sponsors, without our partners. So a big thank you, especially to the premium sponsors, B360, Mega, Freshwork, and Magic Software. You should go visit them, plus all the other sponsors, because without this engagement, this year would not be possible. So a big thank you to all these guys here. And again, some of them also traveled far to get here, so I saw some of them like standing here pretty late as well. It's also something, I mentioned this yesterday, it really is also about making connections, interactions, talking to people, and it is something where we really love you to grow your network, grow your experience here at the summit. And that is something where we do have breaks out there, and it was hard to get you in here because it was already a lot of nice conversations out there. So use those times. All our meals are vegetarian, so if you do have like special dietary requests, go see us at the front desk. But with that, we can cater to a much bigger audience, plus reduce our carbon footprint. And it is something where you will see also a lot of talks today. And I want you to use those breaks as well, because I know some of the time slots here are short. Then use the coffee break, the lunch break to go see one of the people in the speaker list and have a chat with them and pick their brains, because this is really an extraordinary lineup of speakers, and I'm very grateful for all the speakers that made it here. And it is something that you all, even if you're a speaker, it's I know I talked to some of you before and after the event anyway, so it's something that a lot of speakers also come to me and say like, oh, this was amazing, I learned so much from like all the other conversations. So use the time to make that. I will be your moderator here on the main stage with all these talks. You do have the flyers on your seats. Fabian is in the back, so he will be your host in room number 2, which is if you walk across the first room on the left. And then we have our special Alina doing room number 3, and she's the longest employee with like 9 years out of the 10 at Lean 42, so we are very fortunate to have her with us. It is also something where I mentioned kind of like the diversity, and really is something that matters for us and is dear to my heart. And I want to encourage you to also think about where can you include more diversity? Where can you work with new people, new backgrounds, so that we all grow as a community? Because in your teams, the more backgrounds you have, the more the higher performance the team is. So I'm very fortunate that this time, I think last time I said like we had like 50%. Where's Christina? We talked about this last night. And this year we even topped it with almost 60% female speakers, which is a pretty good feat for an IT conference. So I'm very glad and very fortunate to have you all here. So thank you, speakers. So to give you some food for thoughts, the real content is coming from all the speakers. So, but just I wanted to tease you with some thoughts here. And it is something where I learned this with the business environment when my wife is a real architect. We had this conversation a little bit earlier, and she does kind of like, or back in the day, it's already like almost 20 years ago. She did workplace consulting. So she worked for a company that had like Google, Accenture, and like many others as clients, and set up their new offices and the workplaces. And it was a very vibrant company, and everybody was partying like afterwards, and it was just like the vibe and culture in that company was amazing. And then she decided to like after a couple of years, to switch and go to a different company that does exactly the same thing. Just the clients is universities, hospitals, government agencies, And the vibe, the culture was completely different. You couldn't like pick a more opposite organization than those two. And it is something where I want you to be aware of that wherever you work and wherever you are, there are things that you cannot, or it's a little bit harder to control because it is your business environment. And it is something where Gene and I, we ran the EA department at Freddie Mac, and they also had single family, which is kind of like lots of mortgages, so high volume, efficiency. And we had like multifamilies where it was like, oh, for this loan, we need to be very special and do something. So the IT functions were very, very different in those parts. And then it was like capital markets, which was dealing with Wall Street and was very, very different from like the whole mindset. So even within an organization, you might have different areas that function very different because the daily interactions these people have and the environments they work in are very, very different. So for us, the struggle was the enterprise architects in one area was, oh, we need to be kind of like standardized and efficient and all this. And the other one was, oh, we need to be like very flexible and no, we cannot standardize. So then bringing those together in an enterprise architecture function that was supposed to look across and standardize or govern and all these wonderful words, it's just very hard and very difficult. So I want you to always think about, because today you will get a lot of input and you have to make the decisions what is applicable for you and what is applicable to your environment and how you work and how you operate and where are your industries and your areas that you connect with. And yes, there's a lot of learning we can take in today, but there's also, we all need to adapt it and make it work for our concrete setting. So whenever you learn something today, think of that. My second point is for today, it's something that, like, we're consultants, but also as an enterprise architect that I was for a couple of years in organizations. It is something where we are getting a lot of like problems and we're getting exposed to a lot of things that work or don't work, and sometimes it is expressed to us explicitly and sometimes we just kind of like feel it, see it, that there's something isn't working. So whenever you, like, there's three things you need to kind of like make work so you have success. And at first you need to see it. You need to see that there is something not working. Then you need to solve it, because just of recognizing this doesn't work doesn't help anybody. So you need to find the solution and make sure you have the solution. And then just having the solution for yourself, like a lot of you are architects or coming from an IT background, we sometimes do something and then just like keep it to ourselves because it's kind of like, oh yeah, I solved it, nice. It is a selling, it is a communication, it is something where we, or a lot of us, have to be kind of like a little bit more out-facing and a little bit more doing something that we might not like that much because we're more into the, oh, I want to solve something, I want a solution. But we also have to communicate it and work with it. And that is something where there's lots of techniques, and we will learn a lot in today's sessions also on how to approach some of that and make sure you not only see things, but you also have some techniques in your hand to solve it better, but then also to communicate and sell it. So not only think of your environment, but also think of this, see it, solve it, and sell it throughout what you will learn today. And with that, I just hope we all grow and we all become better versions of ourselves. It is not about becoming better than somebody else. It really is about ourselves, and that is why we're here, and that's why I love these conferences. So with that, I hope you enjoy the day and come back next year with your colleagues, friends, and all the others. So thank you so much.